All right, so I'm going to call out everybody's name. If you'll answer for me, please. Samuel Actic.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Anthony Rayano Gonzalez.
Here.
Thank you. Natalie Axtell.
Here.
Thank you, ma'am. Carlos Bustos. Carlos. That's probably him right there. I still no Carlos Bustos. Stephen Cano. Stephen Cano. Joshua Colon. Joshua Colon. Nope. Alicia.
Yep.
Thank you, ma'am. There's Stephen right there. Samuel Figueroa. Samuel Figueroa. Yeah, he's here. Franco. Alfredo. Nope, he's not here. Yvonne Gibbs.
Here.
Yvonne.
I'm here.
Xavier Grooms.
Here.
Thank you. Brandon Gross. Brandon. Cameron Norris.
Here.
Thank you. Isaac Noyola Hernandez.
Here.
Thank you. Samuel Awaka-Niron. Samuel Awaka-Niron. Nope, not here. Jaden Patterson. Jaden.
Here.
Thank you. Josh Spencer. Joshua Spencer is here. Samuel's here. Jaden's here. Wendy.
Here.
Thank you. And Brian Zamora Garcia.
Here.
Thank you. So I've only got Joshua Colon and Carlos Bustos that is absent today. Make sure here before I submit my attendance. Yep, that's exactly who I've got absent. So all right, so I've already got my AutoCAD web app screen up because I was helping somebody at the beginning of class. But what we're going to start off with today is we're going to go to page 125, which is the day's work. Multi-view drawing 6 is this right here. All right. So students should draw multi-view drawings of the following worksheets. These basically are the same page, just divided into 3 sections to make it easier for you guys to see it. All right. So I opened up section page 125, section B, which is here. Now, one of the things I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to show you how to show me that this is a slanted area, this is flat, and this is slanted. Because in your illustration, this is at a 45-degree bevel. This is at a 45-degree bevel. Can you still hear me? Still hear me? Still hear me? Still hear me? All right, can you still hear me? All right, so my figure 5-583, we're talking about 1 3/4 inches tall, rectangular side, comes over here, comes down at an angle of 45 degrees. It tells you that right there. It's 45 degrees. It's 45 degrees on this side. It's 45 degrees from this corner. You end up with a triangular shape with each angle almost being 45 degrees. All right, so we start with our bottom layer, our bottom line on a construction layer. We go up 1 3/4 inches to the top. And then in the center here, almost in the exact center of this, we got to go up 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. All right, so how far is it from here to the top? Somebody tell me how far it is. It's 1/2 inch from here to here, 3/4 inch to here. How far is it from here to the top? Simple mathematics. Adding and subtracting fractions. Anybody? Anybody? Anybody that can unmute yourself and tell me what the distance is from here, from the top here, to where this begins. You got a 1/2 inch to 3/4 from here to here. So what is this left here?
3/4.
Who is this?
Samuel.
Samuel Actic. You said it was how much?
3/4.
3/4. Not exactly 3/4. If you got a 1/2 inch here, 3/4 here, the whole thing is 1 inch and 3/4. 3/4 would not be a little bit over 1 3/4, wouldn't it?
Is it 1/2 then?
It would be 1/2. You're exactly right the second time. You just have to stop to think about it, right? Adding and subtracting fractions in your head are not the easiest thing to do, but I guarantee you, the more you get used to doing it, the quicker it comes and the quicker you get your drawings done. Because I will tell you, 1 3/4 is the same as 1.75 in decimal form. 1/2 is 0.5. All of that is simple mathematics. It's simple. I mean, even when you get over here to figure 5-85, 3/8 is 0.375. That's just something that you memorize as you're drawing. 3/4 is 0.75. So it's something repetitive as you go along. You just drill it in your head that this is what this means, either in fraction form or in decimal form. All right. So let's go to our AutoCAD page. If I can get down there. All right. So you see my construction lines. All I did is I started on my construction line layer. We'll zoom in a little bit. I then offset this line here up 3/4 of an inch because that's where that flat edge here goes. Then I offset it from here to here by 0.5 or 1/2 inch. And then I offset it again by 1/2 inch to get my top line. It's that simple. And you create a vertical line here with your construction lines. And then you basically just have to draw your top before you can figure out where this section comes in here. So you have to do your top before you know where this point comes in right here. This point right here is what you're talking about. It lines up right with this one right here. I can prove that to you by construction line. Right there. So those lines measure up, they line up, but you have to draw one view before you get the other views done. So you need all 3 views working together to give you everything. And so your angle here sort of throws off your view. But what I want you to do is I want you to create a way of separating the angle views from your flat views. So what we may have to do, we may have to go in, excuse me, I gotta. Now, Nautica, that's the pan tool in AutoCAD that you don't have in AutoCAD Web App. So, but you can do this even in AutoCAD Web App. So if you type in join, and you go up here and you join this line, and this line, and this line, and hit enter, you're going to create a geometric shape. And in that geometric shape, you're able to take that hash pattern to differentiate that that's actually a slanted groove or slanted slide. something a little different just to break up the lines. All right, so I don't necessarily like that. But for you, you can go through here and choose which one you want. I'd be more likely to choose the gradient. And you're going to choose the areas that are going to be slanted and make them a different shade to show off that those are actual slanted areas. It does add a different view to your drawing when you're able to see those in solid shapes. That's figure 5-83. Now I'm going to go backwards because I don't need that personally. I can tell that they're slanted just by the views themselves. And so I don't really need to see that. But for you, I want you to set it as a shade or a gradient or as a hatch, so you can tell, you can be able to prove that these are actually slanted and not just all flat. I want you to be able to prove it to yourself and to me. All right. So that's figure 5-83, 5-84. Let's go here. One that's a little simpler. Let's go to our construction line layer. Now, I can take you back to the drawing, but I can also show you here because I got everything dimensioned. All right. So I know this whole width of this side here is 1/2 inch. I know the whole width from here to this point is 3 inches. And I know on the back side of this line is 3 inches from here to here, from this corner to this corner. All right. I know this angle here is 60 degrees. I know this half here is 3/4 inch. I know this angle is 60 degrees. Now, this is the slanted edge. This is a straight up and down vertical edge. And part of this is a slanted edge. So what we would do, if you wanted to show that, and there you have your slanted edges shown by gradients. Now, but those are angled edges there. That's an angled edge there. That's an angled edge there. That's angled. This is angled. So that's how you're determining your angled edges, is by showing your gradients in those edges. I don't need to see that personally, but I want you to be able to show me and to verify that they're actually angles by doing that. What you would do is, in order to create that as a shape, as a geometric shape, and not just lines, you have to go in and click Join, join, enter, and select your line types. And hit enter. And then you would go to gradient. and enter. So you got a gradient on this edge showing that this is actually a slanted edge, so it's not a perfectly vertical shape. And then you would do the same thing here. But see, this shape is an actual geometric edge because when I formed my lines met exactly at each point, so it joined them together for me because I used my snaps. If you're not able to give your gradients here, it's because you're not exactly touching every point you need to touch. So you may have to go in and join those together to make it actually touch. All right. So we'll go back to the drawing now, the actual sheet. So I know that's 1.5 full. It's 3/4 inch, 3/4 of an inch. It's 3 this way, 3 this way, 60 degrees and 60 degrees. The same information I showed you on my drawing. All right. Now, let's go to this one. This one is a solid rib inside of another membrane here. So we said 3/8. It's 3/8 this way. I know it's 3/8 this way. This way is 3/4 of an inch. It doesn't tell you that until you actually draw out your shape and figure out your angle of 30 degrees. But it doesn't tell you that until you get your 30-degree angle drawn from here going up. All right. Now, this rib we will show by hidden lines. We're using our layers. Turn off our construction lines. Now, can anybody tell me why, when I made when my construction line snapped up here, why I wouldn't go back in and delete it? Can anybody tell me that? Why I won't delete that? Can anybody tell me? It wasn't because I was being lazy and didn't want to. Why was it that I didn't delete that construction line? Anybody have an idea? Anybody? Let me give you a clue here. The clue is your construction line layer is just for you and for me to be able to make sure you're getting your shapes put in right. The construction line layer is just a layer in which hardly anybody would ever see. Because what you could do with this layer is you could freeze this layer. And just basically, we could turn that off and turn that, and nobody would ever see that in any drawing you turned on and you turned in, unless they unthawed it and turned it on. Now, we can turn it on when it's frozen and it's still not going to show up. We'd have to unfreeze it or thaw it for it to show up. That's why I did not delete that construction line. In actuality, what happened with that one is I went to put this construction line in, this 30-degree angle here. I started it at this point, and I wanted to go back and make sure, where did that point end up at? I came back over here, looked at it, I said, it touches there. So I wasn't sure if it touched here or here. And so I said, well, I'll just go over there and check it. And I came over here and checked it, got back to my drawing, and my construction line had just automatically connected up here in the corner. Rather than taking the time to delete it then, I said it's on my construction layer. Nobody will see it. Nobody will know what it is unless I show it to them. That's why I leave things on my construction layer that are mistakes, but they're fixed in the object line layer. All right. So you can always turn that off and freeze those. And nobody will see them unless they turn them on. And the only reason they would need to turn them on is if they'd have to verify where you got the rest of your shape information from. All right. So this here is the hidden lines on the inside of here. There's your hidden lines on the bottom. All right. So this is basically just a divider that gets slid in here, a solid divider that gets slid in here. And basically that shape is here and here. All right. So you have the 3 drawings. You have the ability now to go in and do the 3 drawings. Now, we did 3 yesterday, we did 3 today, and I'll do 3 more tomorrow, and then Thursday we'll go over a fact that you will need, for something that you will need to help you with your AutoCAD or Autodesk certification test. All right, so anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions?